Hi, it's Mrs. Thompson coming to you with today's art lesson, Modern Art in Latin America. First, I'm going to show you a slide by Diego Rivera. It's an artwork, a mural, which is a painting on the wall. In this mural, you can actually see Frida Kahlo, who actually ended up being his wife, handing out ammunition to soldiers. It was addressing the beginning of the Spanish Revolutionary War. And so then we're going to go straight into a self-portrait by Frida Kahlo. She suffered a lot of pain in her life. She was in a bad bus accident, and she says her art is not surreal because she paints her real life. Her artwork is very, very, very symbolic. And so for your project, you're really going to have to think about that. In this artwork, it's called The Two Fridas, and she is actually showing her self-identity by identifying herself as relating to European culture and her Mexican culture because her mom was from European descendants. So going right into your project, first we need to talk about the proportions of the face. Your face is actually like an egg kind of shape, an upside down egg shape. Your eye, and then you're going to draw a line straight down the middle. That's called a symmetrical line or a line of symmetry. Then you're going to divide your face directly in half. I know that sounds weird, but your eyes are actually in the middle of your head. And then you'll see step by step, I'll show you throughout the time lapse and videos of how to actually draw the eyes, nose, and mouth shapes and where the placements are. So for your supplies, you're going to need a mirror, your handout of the face, paper, pencil sharpener, eraser, pencils, and colored pencils. And I don't know what kind of art teacher I am. I don't even have a full pack of colored pencils. So I think it's pretty necessary before you get actually started on the project just to practice the proportions of the face. So here I am practicing, you start with that egg shape, do your symmetry line like your little handout says. And now I'm going to go into more detail and kind of talk about each individual feature. So your eye, it should be like a football shape, maybe kind of like a lemon on one end because we do have tear ducts. Then you're not going to draw like 4 circles inside, ladies and gentlemen. No, you only have 2. You have your iris and your pupil. Always leave a little bit of light right there in the pupil, just like a little shine. Then I do radiating lines around just to make it look a little bit realistic. And remember, this is just practice. If it was the real deal, I'd put more detail. And there's an eyelid. And then I always like to talk about how eyelashes look like the Nike swoosh mark coming out from underneath, like little check marks. That'll make them look more realistic, more 3D. And then there's the bottom ones. So for your nose, I always start with like a rectangle shape, and those are going to go from the edges of your eyes. Whenever you're on your actual face, I'm just showing you each feature. Now, you know how Olympic rings, they kind of overlap? Well, these are ellipses. Remember we talked about cylinders and stuff? That middle ellipse is going to be slightly lower than the other two. Then you're just going to kind of go around that bottom part of that middle ellipse, go up, and then make another tiny ellipse. And then you're going to outline the edges of those, the outer ellipses, and then just simply erase the inside. So whenever you erase, you kind of have the shape of a nose, then you would erase your rectangle there. And of course, shading will help that look a little bit more better. And here's what I meant about like M-bird lips. So if you start with that M-bird shape like that, and then basically all you would do is draw that center line and then your bottom lip line. And your bottom lip is just a curve. It kind of just curves down just like so. So before you can actually start, you have to figure out your self-identity. This could be anything from values, beliefs. I chose to choose that I'm white, but I am Mexican in heart, so I'm going to choose to display that. My hobbies, art, you can use possession, things that you own, interests, skills. Mine are daisies and such. So here I am starting the actual project. So enjoy, and I'll be back at the end if you have questions. And so there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. I chose to display that I love the Mexican culture by doing Day of the Dead. I have cubes in there. I also have swirls that are representational of the pottery wheel, because it always leaves this perfect symbol. Cubes, because I'm obsessed with cubes, and the tornado symbol, because when I was 12 I went flying through there in a tornado. So I think this is a pretty good reflection piece. I even have the Basquiat crown necklace on, colored hair, because I like to color my hair in the summer, and paintbrushes in my hair. I think it's a pretty good reflection of a self-identity piece in the style of Frida Kahlo.